Oh my goodness. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Coffee and Sports in the Morning right here on Wide to Wide Sports. I'm your host for this morning, William D. Morgan. I'll be here with you today and tomorrow. And I have a cast of thousands with me today. First, he is the man, the myth, the legend that runs Wide to Wide Sports. Let me bring my man, the NFL genius, Gene in. Gene, how you doing, bro?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm fired up. 3 days in a row, man. I love talking sports. Anytime I get the opportunity to be home from 9 to 10, I'm here.
That's the passion. That's the passion right there, my friend. And let me bring in my brother from another mother, the man who knows the NBA very, very well, my man Mo Better. Mo Better, what's up with you, bro?
Morning, fellas. Morning, all.
I'm the very embodiment of this show. Yeah, I see I got the coffee right here, so I'm the very embodiment of this show.
I got my WrestleMania coffee right here.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And speaking of WrestleMania, fellas, we got to talk about this. I've never seen pro wrestling at all-time high, all because of a little bit of a single thing that happened at Elimination Chamber. John Cena turned heel.
Wait, you weren't talking about the return of Jade Cargill? That's not where. That's not the thing.
Not yet. She looking amazing.
Storm was coming.
She was looking amazing, though. I ain't gonna say in front. She was looking amazing.
Bro, Storm is coming.
Oh my goodness. But John Cena has turned heel, you guys. And we haven't seen that since way back in the day, Dr. Thugonomics. I'm thinking, and Mo, you might agree, I'm thinking this might be the biggest heel turn since Hogan in 96.
It is. I don't think there's no question. It is. As soon as it happened, I thought it's the biggest heel turn since Hogan turned his back on WCW and formed NWO. And even then, going back to that was one of the most insane moments. But the Cena thing, it played out better. I don't think it's greater, but it played out better. When he leans in to dap Cody up and hug him, and then his face goes from like happy Cena to serial killer face, that was crazy. Like he literally changed characters in that moment. I was totally bought in on it. So yeah, it is definitely the biggest heel turn since then. I don't think it's a bigger moment, but it was done better. It was done better.
Amazing. That thing was amazing. Gene, what did you think about that, bro? I know you saw it.
Of course. So I got to give Triple H credit. Paul Levesque needs all the credit in the world because it's now 3 PLEs in a row that he has absolutely shocked me. Things that I just didn't think were going to happen. The Royal Rumble, Jay winning the Royal Rumble, I know. And even in this Elimination Chamber, John Cena winning the men's Elimination Chamber was kind of corny to me. I didn't want it to happen. It didn't shock me. Bianca winning the women's, it shocked me a little. But the heel turn of John Cena absolutely shocked me. And I knew it the moment The Rock came down and Cody gave him the go F yourself. I'm like, why is Cena still in the ring? Like,
right.
There's a reason he's still there. But
that thing was amazing. And now, gentlemen, and I was talking to another one of my buddies about this. Is it a foregone conclusion he gets 17?
Yeah.
I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think it is that he gets 17. And I don't know how long of a run it'll be, but it's John's last. And for this to be his last run, to finish it as the way he came in, I thought it's kind of climactic in a sense, because now all of a sudden you have to view him in a different light. So he because he's heel, no more Make-A-Wish. Poor little kids. No more Make-A-Wish stuff. You can't do it anymore. And it's gonna be amazing to see when we see him next, because it was already rumored that there was a heel turn planned for him years ago. He had a new interest theme, some new gear and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll get the chance to see all that.
The interesting thing is, though, the only way he was going to win 17 and you could swallow it, you could accept it, he had to have a heel turn.
Yeah.
He had to have a heel turn. Because now if he wins, it'll be acceptable, because and I know he's not going to win. He's not going to win by a clean pin. You
No,
know that.
no.
So
Right.
so now you can go, yeah, he won it, but right, it's you can digest it now. You can
Right.
sell that to the wrestling universe. That's why it works better that way.
And again, it makes Cody, and it doesn't hurt Cody,
No,
which
not
is
at
another.
all.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt Cody at all to lose to a heel like that. So it doesn't hurt Cody at all. You keep Cody strong. So yeah, it should be interesting. Now, Gene, you mentioned the return of Jade. Oh my gosh. Woo! That is one beautiful sister right there. But that's gonna be her and Naomi is gonna be one heck of a rivalry or feud in itself. And
Okay.
I just think that
Look,
that was beautiful to me.
I had a while to sleep on it, and I really think that Bianca Belair is in on it.
Yes,
I do too. I
agreed,
do too.
100%. We're all there. We're all there.
Heck yeah, I think she on it too. In it too. Yep.
So Cottrell said Rhea heel turn coming, and I don't necessarily think a Rhea heel turn's coming, but like kind of like a Roman where he's a face, but he's not really a face. He hasn't changed. But I kind of want to give you like a small in-depth what I think happened. I think Bianca you can kind of see her face in certain of these like these moments, and I think Bianca is involved in it. And I think you're gonna get a Bianca Belair heel turn, is what I
100%.
predicted.
100% agree. Yep.
I think that the reason Jade thinks it's one or two things. Bianca and Naomi jumped Jade, and the only reason Jade didn't come for Bianca, she didn't bother because she was already in the
Trust in the chain, trust in the cage.
So she like, here, this is what I'm gonna do to your girl, or Bianca did it outright by herself, and she was wearing a Naomi wig, and all Jade saw was that wig. I'm just telling you, it's one of the two, but I definitely think she's gonna have a heel turn, and I don't think Cottrell's necessarily wrong. It's just a question of it's interesting if they both turn heel, because I've seen different iterations of women factions, but a woman faction with Bianca Belair and Mommy be the greatest women faction I've ever seen, just on those two alone.
And two of the strongest single female wrestlers we've had in a long, long time. You got to go back to Natty and Beth Phoenix as far as a physically more dominant team.
Right. Did you go, Mo? Okay.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Did you see the Jade Cargill like return video that the 1-of-1 video that she put out? That feels like a heel video. Like, yeah. But like what she said is, she said, and I don't think Jade turned heel, but what she said is, I'm tired of people smiling in my face and like living off my shine. Like, I don't know, man. That feels like that's talking about Naomi and Bianca. Like, I feel like there's something coming with it, but we'll see.
And the thing that gets me, we saw on Raw, Io Sky win the women's championship. We saw that on Raw. And look, I know Rhea has her fans, not trying to hate on Rhea, but Io is bad. It's a great wrestler, a great superstar in her own right. She captivates the fans in her own way. And all this did was set up a triple threat. That's all this did, was set up a triple threat match between them. And I go sit here and lie, fellas, I wouldn't be mad if VO kept the title. I don't think she does, but I wouldn't be mad if she did.
Here's my problem, right? And this, I always err on the side of caution when speaking about this on air. But like let me say it this way. I feel like you guys can put the pieces of the puzzle together. Any champion that doesn't either have a mouthpiece or isn't on the mic, it will never last as a champion.
We did see that with perfect example of Shinsuke. Perfect example. I don't think he got over the way he should have, because they didn't give him a mouthpiece. And
great wrestler. Great wrestler. These people are incredible wrestlers. I don't mean to be rude when I say this. They could be AEW champions because AEW really celebrates the wrestling dynamic of it. But as far as WWE, it's all about storytelling.
Right.
And the storytelling isn't there with EO, or it isn't there with and why it worked with EO last time with Bailey is because of the whole damage control vibe where they were talking, right?
Yeah.
But
that's true. That's true. That's a good point. So, man, this Mania season is going to be amazing. He's going to be amazing. Contrell said that's exactly why he's out on Gunther. But hey, hold up now. At least I will say one thing for Gunther. He did work to get that spot. I will say that it wasn't.
He's a terrible mouthpiece.
But he can't talk. He can't talk. I'll be the first to admit it. He can't talk. But he worked to get to that spot. He just can't talk. He's boring on the mic. And I've been saying that same thing about Drew McIntyre.
Jay needs to work on his mic skills too, but he has the vibe of the crowd, and like I got to give Jay his credit, right? Like they're all behind him, right? He's that working man's champion, but he's got to stop sounding like he's completely out of breath when he's talking. You can hear him breathing. I'm like, dog.
We need you to work on your cardio, buddy. Work on your cardio, man. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Fellas, we had a big trade in the NFL. First trade of 2025. Deebo Samuels gets traded to the Washington Commanders for a 5th round pick. Mo, you're the 49ers fan. I'll start with you. What did you think about this trade, and how does it benefit both teams?
Deebo's an expensive luxury the Niners couldn't afford, so he had to go. I think it will benefit Washington because it will give them another weapon. They will scheme things for him. He might do a jet sweep. He might literally line up a tailback and take a few carries. He does a lot of things. Swiss Army knife. So I think he'll be productive for them. But if you're saying now that, well, Deebo Samuels and Scary Terry are one of the great, that's not what that is. He's not one of the better receivers in football. He's a really good football player. And if they use him properly, it's going to impact the team. As far as the Niners go, like I said, he was expendable. He's not great at his own position. And once they got C-Mac, and I said this, they got a better version of him. We don't need Deebo if you got C-Mac. So, like I said, with the Niners, I get why it had to happen. For the Commanders, I understand them trying to add another weapon to help out their young quarterback. Smart move on both parts.
Gene, what you think, buddy?
It kills two birds with one stone. You don't have to continue to pay Austin Eckler because Deebo Samuel is going to give you that receiving threat out of the backfield, that third down back. And you don't have to keep trotting out the Ami Brown on third downs, on big third downs where you're going to be throwing crossers or slants. Instead of it being the Ami Brown, it'll be Deebo Samuel. He's a gadget guy. Like, that's what he is now. And I hate saying that about him, but like Cordell Patterson made a good career in the NFL as a gadget guy.
Surely did.
He could be a good catching running back, and he can be a good wide receiver that catches the wide receiver screen, a drag guy, a slant guy, a yards after catch guy. That's what he is. He's strong. He's tough to bring down. He can't run a route tree better than you, Will. But other than that, like if you
can't get separation either.
No separation. I mean, we all look at Deebo Samuel and talk about like the year he had like 1,700 yards, and then we forget that he hasn't cracked 1,000 yards in any of the other 5 seasons. Like he had 1,400 receiving yards in 2021, and outside of 2021, he hasn't even came close to 1,000 yards. The 800, 892, 391. Like, yeah.
I say, like I've been saying on this show and others, Ayuk was the better receiver all along. Better receiver.
I've been saying that. Look, Deebo's a football player. Look, he's the kind of football player that you can line up at H-back. He might be able to play some tight end. Threat. He ain't gonna block nobody, but you know what I mean.
Nah. All right, let's turn our attention over to another wide receiver who just got released yesterday. Devontae Adams, released by the Jets. Fellas, where are we seeing him going? Gene, I'll start with you.
So, to be determined, I don't know. Like, I think that if he can follow Aaron Rodgers, he will. But, like, I don't know if the situation calls for it, right? Yeah. You know where I'd love to see him go? Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. Man. I'm about to say that. That'd be great.
That's the spot.
That would be the spot right there.
Give Jordan Love a number 1 wide receiver and make all those other wide receivers
what they are, 2s and 3s.
3s and 4s.
Yep.
Look at that Green Bay team versus Philadelphia. Especially Christian Watson didn't play in the game. Romeo Doubs was hurt. And then Jaden Reed was hurt. And you're sitting there, you're trotting out Dontavian Wicks. Like, that's not going to win in the NFL.
Nope.
So the answer would be, I hope he goes to Green Bay. It gives them a real number 1. You could put Christian Watson on the other side. Jaden Reed can go back to the slot where he needs to be at.
Yep.
Romeo Doubs can go somewhere else.
Amen.
I hope that Devontae Adams, I think the Packers would be the perfect spot, but if not the Packers, I just hope he goes to a contender so he can play meaningful football. I hope he goes somewhere where he realizes this team has a good thrower of the football. I still think that he can still play at a high level. Like, a lot of people are talking about Debo going to the Commanders. He just got released, and he's a much, much better football player, much better wide receiver than Debo is. He just got released. I think he'll have, on the right team, he'll have a much bigger impact than Debo Samuels will have.
Hold on one second. All right, bro, I'm going to get to your question. Give me a sec. Anybody see the Ravens as a contender getting? You just got asked me on my cell phone.
I mean, yeah, if he want to go somewhere where they're going to be really good and he's going to have like 700 and 800 yard receiving seasons, like, you don't want to go to the Ravens if yes, you want to win, but if you're an elite receiver and you want to show off your talents, you're not going to do that.
The Ravens ain't it.
The
Ravens ain't it. I don't trust Todd Monken. I don't trust Todd Monken. I really don't. What you think, Gene?
Now it's Todd Monken. It's everyone. It's every offensive coordinator Lamar's ever had. Lamar is an incredible quarterback, an incredible talent. You can put first-round draft picks all around him, and they still won't have 1,400 yards. They just won't. That's not what he's about. And that's not okay. That's fine. It's okay for him to be the MVP of the league and not have a 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 yard receiver. I don't. It's always something, though. Like, they draft Hollywood in the first round, Zay Flowers in the first round. It doesn't matter how many first-round draft picks you put. Lamar Jackson's had a plethora of first-round draft picks to throw the ball to.
Yep.
They're never going to have career years there, and that's okay. It's not Lamar's fault. Like, Zay Flowers did have a great year, but it's okay for them not to have a guy that gets 1,500 yards. That's not how the offense is structured.
Right.
It's not a knock on Lamar Jackson. It's just, if you want pass dynamic offense, it's probably not meant for a Devontae Adams.
Right. Yeah. And I would say that, look, Zay had a really good season, but would anybody be shocked if next season Zay doesn't have over 1,000 yards receiving? I don't think Zay Flowers, as talented as he is, he's not really a great route runner. He's not going to have multiple 1,000-yard receiving in a row playing in that system, playing with that quarterback. That's not a knock. Like Gene said, Lamar is one of the top 5 guys, but he does it in a different way, and that's okay. They've had a lot of success with that. They've done everything but the thing, which is to win a Super Bowl.
Yes, he threw for over 4,000 yards. And how many 1,000-yard receivers has he had? Zay Flowers had 1,084 yards. That's the best receiving season he's had. So, like, yeah, he spreads the ball around. It's not a knock on Lamar. I know the Lamar police are going to come out and think this is a knock on Lamar. It's not a knock on Lamar. It's just, that's not the way the offense is structured. And for Will to get up here and say it's Todd Monken, bro, it's not Todd Monken. Todd Monken, the Ravens have won tons of regular season games. They've been the 1 seed. They've won the AFC North. They've been successful. They've had the top defense in football. They need to play when it matters in the playoffs and stop saying it's the coaching or it's this or Lamar doesn't have weapons. I'm tired of that.
It's going to be interesting. Hopefully they can put that thing together this year. That's going to be one of the most interesting. The AFC is going to be very interesting this year. I want to see what those guys do. Sticking in the AFC, let me go over to the Cincinnati Bengals. Y'all think that Chase contract is going to change the wide receiver market?
I mean, yeah, of course it has to. He won the Triple Crown.
Yep.
And he's the best receiver in football, and he won the Triple Crown. So, yes, by the way, Jamar Chase, I wish he had a good quarterback to throw him the ball. Like he doesn't have a good quarterback. Joe Burrow is just not good.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They need
Wait,
my only issue with the Bengals, they need to fix the line. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I was laughing because I just thought Gene's comment was really funny because it just
It
played into what we
was.
were talking about. So I just thought it was funny.
It was.
The rivalry between Gene and Cottrell will continue on. And it's constantly a fight between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, when in reality, Cottrell disrespects Joe Burrow, and I do not disrespect Lamar Jackson. I just see it differently.
I just think the rivalry between Cottrell and Gene, it's the reason why I tune in to Wire to Wire. Shameless plug. Make sure you watch Wire to Wire, guys. It is the best show on TV. It's the best show in the podcast land. If you've not watched Wire to Wire, shame on you.
Appreciate it, brother.
And speaking of this last comment, and I do agree. And in the spirit of that comment, we see Saquon Barkley get extended to be the highest paid running back in the NFL. I'm gonna go to Eugene. Where is the Eagles getting this money? Because at some point they're gonna have to pay it down the line. At some point, I don't know where, but they're gonna have to pay it at some point. But it's a smart move to go ahead and lock him up right now.
So I want to ask you a question.
Hmm?
You just said, where are the Eagles getting this money?
Where they getting this money from?
Well, hold on. I'm gonna ask you a question. Who do the Eagles pay? Who do they pay?
That's true. Because you took care.
Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Wayne Johnson.
Because you took care of your receiver core last season.
Do you know how many players the Philadelphia Eagles have that have over a $20 million cap hit? Over a $20 million cap hit. I want you to think about that. Now, you see these contracts constantly, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. Mm-hmm. How many players on Philadelphia do you think have over a $20 million cap hit?
One?
Two?
Mo nailed it around the head. One. They have one player that has over a $20 million cap hit. Howie is a wizard with the guarantees, with the bonuses, with non-capped money. Jalen Hurts is the only player on the Eagles team that has over a $20 million cap hit this year. I want you to think about that. That's
amazing.
Now, granted, next year you got three of them with Lane, Jalen, and AJ.
Yeah.
But that's still not bad in the NFL. And
by
the way, their fifth highest player on the team is a guy that doesn't even play. They're going to get rid of him. Bryce Huff, he's gone. They don't have anyone that they really pay. So you say where this money comes from, it comes from good drafting, right? Jalen Carter gets paid nothing. Nolan Smith gets paid nothing. Jordan Davis gets paid nothing. Keely Ringo, nothing. Cooper DeJean, nothing. All of them. Quinyon Mitchell, nothing. They get paid nothing. They're all rookies on a rookie contract.
Rookie deals. They're taking advantage. That's what it is. They're taking advantage of the rookie deals.
And Jalen Hurts took a very team-friendly contract with the Eagles. And I remember his press conference. They said, Jalen, how's it feel to be the highest paid quarterback in football? He goes, money's great. Championships are better. And he took a team-friendly deal. Do you know Jalen Hurts' deal, although worth more money than Daniel Jones, pays him a lower average salary per year than what Daniel Jones was getting paid from the New York Giants?
Wow.
It's wild. But
yeah. Agree, Cottrell. Agreed. What do you think about that situation, Mo? With Saquon signing the extension?
Look, I think that to me was Howie Roseman and the Eagles saying thank you. Thank you for the great season. I mean, yes, it locks him up there, but they didn't have to do that. I think they did that. And I think that Saquon's the kind of guy that it'll motivate him more to try to come out and have as good or better season next year. To me, it was just a big thank you for what he did.
Well, Mo, and the only thing I want to say is it's a genius move, right? Genius move. And I'll explain to you why. And I don't think it was a Howie move. I think it was a Jeffrey move. But I think what the Eagles organization was telling you was, you come here, you perform, you help us win a Super Bowl, and we will take care of you. And I think that there are free agents lining up for that type of treatment.
Yes.
You come here, you outperform your contract, we will show you that. You do it, you be a good person, a good leader on and off the field. We'll take care of you behind closed doors. You never even heard Saquon negotiate a new contract.
Nope.
Never. But I love that.
Awesome.
And also, Cottrell saying this point is actually genius. How many running backs do you think this offseason, running backs starting to look at GM sideways, how many running backs this offseason think go hold out now after this past year? Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. The year before that, you had Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
Look at the teams that are winning. Look at the teams that are green. Josh Jacobs was the reason for Green Bay's success this year.
Fact. I agree with that. Now let me head on back to the AFC. T. Higgins looked like he got slapped with the franchise tag again. Can you fellas tell me why they keep devaluing that man?
I'll tell you exactly why. No,
go ahead. Go for it, Gene.
So the Bengals are a classless organization.
Yes.
They're an organization that is a bottom feeder organization. It's what they've been. That's what they've always had. When you look at the facilities rankings, the Bengals are always near the bottom. Even go back to Ocho Cinco. Like, he used to talk about how bad the facilities were. Terrell Owens said it was the worst facilities he's ever played in. And he played in San Fran, Buffalo, Dallas, Philadelphia. They're classless organization. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to let the receiver market get done this offseason. Let all these teams spend their money, and then post June 1st, try to get a deal done with T. Higgins before the season starts. They're trying to let the free agency market play its course, and all these teams that want to buy a wide receiver and get them involved in camp and get them on the team early. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And you still didn't pay Jamar. If you think Jamar is playing football this year without a new contract, you are out of your mind. He held out with 2 years to go.
Yep.
You think he's playing this year after winning the Triple Crown? No friggin' way. The Bengals are a classless organization. The Bengals, the Carolina Panthers, the Chicago Bears. Hell, you can add the Miami Dolphins into this order. There's a lot of organizations. The San Diego Chargers for years before they moved to LA and before they hired Jim Harbaugh. They were another organization that were that way. You have to look at these organizations that absolutely destroy players. Cincinnati's one of them.
Preach. Mo, what you thinking, bro?
I think that I could parrot behind everything Gene said, but I will take it. I'm going to go to your arena, Will. I'm going to take a DC thing. They're the bizarro egos, right? Like everything that makes Philadelphia great, from ownership to the GM to the culture, the city, Cincinnati, the way it's ran from top to bottom is terrible. It's been that way for the longest time. Why do you think players want to get out of there? Why and they don't stay? When there are free agents that are available, they're not going there. They know what it's about. It's been that way for decades. This isn't breaking news. Remember a lot of the players that said had bad attitudes and they complained. This goes all the way back to Corey Dillon, who was a great running back.
I remember Corey.
They completely just underpaid him and undermined him. That's Cincinnati in a nutshell. And you're never going to win with that lack of leadership up front. It'll never happen.
Clock killing Corey Dillon. He went on to New England and was exactly what they needed in New England.
Yep.
Moved the sticks.
Yep.
Corey Dillon was a good running back, man.
He was. He really
This is what
was.
Cincinnati does, though, bro. That's what they do. I would hate to be a fan of a team like the Bengals. And you have an all-generational quarterback in Joe Burrow there.
Yep.
Like all-world quarterback.
Yep.
And you gonna ruin it. They gonna ruin it. That's what they do.
And speaking of that, they haven't signed Trey Hendrickson back either. You're gonna need him because that defense line is already suffering. You need to bring him back too.
What are they gonna do, Will? With Burrow on your cap, you've just franchised T. Higgins for $26 million. You got to pay Jamar and you got to pay Hendrickson. Yep. Make that work. You're gonna do all that you're gonna pay 4 players. Because they're putting all that money into 4 players. And I'm not knocking T. Higgins or Jamar because I think they're worth every penny. But
yes,
they've made so many horrible mistakes. They should have paid Jamar so long ago. And now coming off the Triple Crown season, he's not giving them some kind of hometown discount.
No,
he's gonna want his money. He is deservingly should reset the market on wide receivers. He should be the highest paid wide receiver in National Football League.
Agreed. Now on the other end, we got Sam Darnold over in Minnesota, and it's already been reported he's not going to get the franchise tag. Gene has already said he can't stand Sam Darnold. What do you guys think happens to Sam Darnold? She said, "Go to Mo. Mo, go ahead, man."
I think the Vikings want to bring him back, but at the same time, I don't feel like they lose any sleep if they lost him. I'm not trying to knock him because he had a terrific season. It was a career year from him, but you have that one season versus his entirety of his career. I'm not knocking him. He'll get a job somewhere, but I don't think Minnesota is going to break through walls to try to bring him back. They're going to offer a number that they can stomach, and if it's not good enough for him, they're going to move on. Somebody will take him. He will have a job. But I honestly, even though he had a career year, I know who I think he is. I'm not even giving him, which I think is too much for him, Danny Dimes money, right? I didn't think Danny Dimes was worth his money, which he wasn't. I don't think Sam Darnold is worth Danny Dimes money. I wouldn't do it. I would move off of him. I'm gonna come to him. It's not gonna be a lowball offer. It's gonna be an offer that he's probably worth. And he and his agent are going to walk away from it. I don't think he plays in Minnesota.
What do you think, Gene? Any comment?
They drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round of the draft.
Yep.
Sam Darnold had 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 4,300 passing yards. We are making it like this guy had 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Like Sam Darnold, his entire career has stunk. And he had one good season on a team in which everybody that watched the Minnesota Vikings knew that the defense was the catalyst of that team.
Yes.
Everybody. They knew that Brian Flores' defense. It's the reason why Brian Flores is the best coordinator in football. Because the defense you can't name more than 4 guys on the goddamn defense, and they were the top 5 defense in football. But Sam Darnold's going to get paid off of it. And the Minnesota Vikings are doing their best. Yeah, no, we definitely want Sam. We're going to try to sign him to a multi-year extension. Hey, Sam, what do you think? 3 years, $60 million, $20 million a year. What do you think, Sam? No, I'm not going to sign for $20 million a year. And then someone else is going to sign. We tried, man. We really wanted to get Sam back. But, it's JJ's time now. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because anybody that has 2 eyes knew that down the stretch, the last 2 football games of the season, Minnesota played Detroit for the 1 seed, and he fell apart. They played the Rams in the playoffs, and he fell apart.
Yep.
And Sam Darnold looked like Sam friggin' Darnold.
Yep.
And, look, I'm not saying he can't be Geno Smith, right? Because I think that's what he is, right? A guy that's in the right system, he could be successful. But he's not going to be a revolutionary player. He's not going to be a franchise quarterback. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl. So why are you wasting your time?
That's it in a nutshell, right? He's not an overcomer. So you can win with him, but you're not going to win because of him.
But June said this, right? He said the market is higher now. He's getting $45 million yearly. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think some team will pay him. I'm not saying they're going to give him 4 years, 30 or 3 years, $60 million. I'm saying they're going to lowball his offer. And I was being sarcastic when I said it. It could be 3 years, $90 million. He wants 160. Yeah. But like the point being is the Minnesota Vikings are going to pretend for their fan base. We tried to re-sign Sam for a reasonable deal, but we have JJ here. We just drafted him, and they're gonna roll with JJ.
Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, it looks as if all reports are saying Myles Garrett is through with the Browns. Is there any way the Browns can mend that relationship to Myles Garrett and maybe bring him back?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think that if you want to mend it, you can mend it in a way where you do him a solid for all his service there. Allow him to be traded to where he wants to go and get back the assets that you need for you do need a rebuild. They're trying to avoid it But I think you need a rebuild, or at least you need the assets to at least pursue building out the rest of your football team, drafting your next quarterback. They have needs across the board. I'm a big Nick Chubb fan. I don't know if he ever comes back to the player that he was. It usually takes a year coming off that kind of injury, but when you're a running back, he already had a lot of wear and tear on his body. I don't know if he's ever going to be the Nick Chubb we saw before, where he's one of the 3 or 4 best backs in football.
So the Myles Garrett thing's funny, right? I remember immediately when it came out. And this is right. Myles will be great in Washington, but word is the Eagles want him. Damn, can you imagine? Yeah, I can imagine, because I said that shit the week after the Super Bowl.
You did say that
shit
the week after say that. I remember.
And everyone told me I had a pipe dream, and I was
say that.
I was wearing green goggles and all that bullshit. Who's the favorite? Who's the favorite for the Myles Garrett's next team? 220. It's the Eagles.
Yeah.
And the Philadelphia Eagles are going to find a way to make a deal for Myles Garrett. And I've predicted this now for a month. And you're really going to hate us. You're going to hate us. And that's fair. I would hate us too. Have Myles Garrett and Jalen Carter on your front four. Like, go for another Super Bowl. Why not?
Do it now while you got all these rookie contracts. Do it now.
Listen, the day he signs with Philadelphia, I think Contrell is going to lose his mind. But I said this a month ago, and now all the talk surged when the Eagles weren't even a top 5 team to land him. I said it then. And I'm telling you now, he's done with Cleveland. He is going to get traded. But
it's like, man, Cottrell, if that happened, bro, you got to come on the show. If that happens, you got to come on the show with Gene and Mo, and we got to talk about it. If that happens, bro, you got to come on.
I'm on a show with Cottrell every week. He'll find a reason or excuse, or the Eagles overpaid, or it'll be something, bro. Like he can't just be like, Gene, you were right. That never happens, bro. Ever.
Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and switch over to the NBA real quick. LeBron James hit another accomplishment last night. 50,000 points. That's combined regular season and playoffs. Mo, what you thought on that accomplishment from the King?
It just added to his legacy. It's an amazing accomplishment. Like I said, I don't think anybody that I'm on a show with, anybody that I discuss basketball with, we don't deny how great a player he's been, how great an ambassador for the league he's been. And it is amazing to see somebody on the other side of 40 being in the MVP conversation at this stage in his career. But it's an incredible milestone that he has 50,000 combined points, playoffs and regular season. So I just think that longevity, that kind of dominance over a period of time, it should get its flowers. He's deserving of his flowers for doing that. I've never had a problem with acknowledging how great he is. And look, to be honest, 6 degrees of separation, I'm a diehard Laker fan, so his win is my win. If they're as good as advertised, they're going to the finals. Now, I don't think they're going to the finals, and everybody's really overhyping them during this honeymoon period. But do I give them a puncher's chance? Like I said, absolutely. Celebrate everything LeBron James has done. It's a great accomplishment. Point blank period. He's deserving of all those flowers.
I don't know if he's trying to be sarcastic or he really believes this. I know he's a big LeBron fan, but he said longevity achievement, it doesn't mean anything, empty buckets. I completely disagree with him. I think that when you are that good for that long and can be able to be that successful and stay not injured as long as play as many games as he's played, it's a testament to what you put your body through. It's the reason why he's the second greatest basketball player ever to live. Like, I think he's incredible, right? I think LeBron James is someone that I wish that I could have put a different mentality in his body, because his overall, the way he treats his body, the longevity of what he's done, the success in which he's had, it needs to be celebrated. I'm in awe.
I agree.
I am too. And look, it's funny seeing Cottrell's comments, but I feel like those are going to be the comments that you see from a lot of LeBron fans saying, like, "Oh, it don't matter whatever he does." Right, because you're saying that because you feel like no matter what he does, he can't surpass a certain guy. I don't think that's impossible, but I think that you surpass him by winning more championships. You surpass him that way. Look, it's not my fault that Michael Jordan did more in a shorter period of time. That's Michael Jordan's fault. He did more in a shorter period of time. I can't help that. When you hear somebody like Shay Sharp come on there and blather about all I know is everywhere the king win, he's won a title. Like, that's true. It is a factual statement, but he still only won 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you go wherever he went, he has. But what he's never done, he's never three-peated. He's never done that once. Nope. He's not part of that club that only Michael Jordan's part of. That one really unique club where it wasn't a triple-double. I think he captured the quadruple-double. Like, there's only one guy that did it, and he did it 4 times. Like, that's unique. I never agree with anything a guy like Stephen A. Smith says, but I do agree on this. The very best version of Michael Jordan versus the very best version of LeBron James, Michael Jordan's the better player.
Oh yeah.
For real. Yeah. For real. I agree. Shannon does be having me rolling with his Lakers stuff though. OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. He be having me rolling with that.
I mean, he'd be a great late night DJ.
Yeah. That's why I think why his podcast Nightcap is so good, because of him and what he does with Ocho and the relationship that they've cultivated.
So I just wanted to ask another question, and I'll be the first to admit I didn't get to watch the Lakers Pelicans game last night. Mo, I'm sure you did. Am I reading this right? I'm reading the plus minus at the start lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers. Dorian Finney-Smith +5, LeBron +7, Jackson Hayes +4, Gabe Vincent -8, Luka Doncic +37. Am I reading that right? Like, what was it? Did he go on like a 20-0 run with like Jarrett Vanderbilt and Shake Milton off the bench? Like, is that what happened? Did I miss something?
Yeah, well, LeBron finished with, I believe, like 34 last night, but I think Luka, he started off with like 17 in the first quarter.
And he ended up over under.
Right, and he ended up with 15 assists to go along with, I think he had 29 points. Like, look, what LeBron has done for the betterment of the team and for himself, he's put the ball in Luka's hands. You're getting the best version of Luka. The best version of Luka has the ball in his hands. That's when Luka can be Luka. So
30, 15 and 8. Like, what video game numbers am I watching?
Yeah, it's insane. And to watch it live, it's weird because throughout his career, I've always watched Luka and said, how come nobody can stay in front of this guy? He's not ultra quick. He's not a freakish athlete, but you can't stop him from getting to his spots. He gets wherever he wants to on the floor, and he's unguardable one-on-one.
I would agree with that there. And sometimes it takes superstars a minute to find their way when they're on a new team and to get a rhythm, down. And now I think we're seeing Luka finally adapting to what the Lakers want to do and to get that rhythm down to be successful. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure, because I think the Lakers now are second in the West. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're second in the West now. So it's going to be interesting. And you brought up a good point the other day. We're not sure if OKC is that team or not yet.
I don't think they are. That doesn't mean that I'm saying the Lakers are going to go to the finals. Sometimes you just lead with your gut. You can look at every metric, every number, and it says if you go by the metric and the numbers, OKC is going to the finals. It's just that cut and dry. It's that cut and dry. And yet you get in the playoffs and you can throw out those numbers. And I don't know if they have the grit in them to get to that next level. Let's remember the season they're having now, they were having that same season last year. Remember what seed they were last year? Luka goes in there on one leg with Kyrie. What happened?
Took him down.
On one leg with Kyrie. So I don't think the Lakers are going to the finals, but I think they're a horrible matchup for the Thunder.
What you think, Gene? Is OKC that team or no?
No, I said yesterday, I don't know. I don't know if they are. I'm not going to go in the same realm that Mo goes. I think they go very deep. I think they have a lot of good players, and I think if they're completely healthy, they have a lot of guys that can make things happen. But I'll say this, right? I've watched Chet Holmgren when it matters, and he comes up small. I've said that from when he came in college. Jalen Williams was almost a disappearing act last year in the playoffs. And SGA, as good as SGA is, when teams fully focus to stop SGA and slow him down, he's a good scorer. He is a great scorer. I just don't know if they, and listen, they could take a lot of these guys, Mo, you said this before, Jordan wasn't Jordan until Jordan won.
Yes.
Right? Like, Jordan was a guy that never could get it done. He was James Harden, right? Like, I'm kind of giving a weird example, but the point being is he wasn't Jordan until he got over the hump and got it done. So, like, this Thunder team won't be a successful team until they get over the hump and get it done. So, like, I don't want to say they can't. I just haven't seen it yet in postseason basketball that matters. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Will, you and I think we talked about this last week, but I'm going to put it out there again. If the Thunder do anything but make a run to the finals, it absolutely opens up the door for Kevin Durant to come home.
I don't know if OKC fans want that, though.
If they can't win look, they basically have a stacked team. All you hear is SGA, J-Dub, they got Chet, they went out and got Hartenstein, Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Wiggins. They're as deep and as talented as team they are. This guy's going to win the MVP. And I'm telling you, if they come up short, that'll be 2 years in a row.
Yes.
That's not a fluke. That's a trend that says about who you are. And basketball is unique in that every team has a run, and your run is either going to end up in the finals or you're going to be one of those teams that only make it to the conference finals. If they lose again, if they come up short, yeah, they're going to make a change. Maybe it won't be Kevin Durant, but they're going to look to bring in somebody else because they're going to say J-Dub's nice, but maybe he's just not that dude in the playoffs. Or they're going to say Chet's nice, but now we're looking at him going like he's more of a third or fourth option than he is like a guy that's going to be a superstar. That could be a reality. I'm just saying, look, I'm not telling you they can't go to the finals. I just don't think they're a dominant team the way people think that perceive them to be. I don't think it's that easy to say like if they have all their guys, they're going to win it all.
Yep.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah,
you can say that, but if they don't win, their culture isn't that great. It's just a thing. Yeah. If you replace J-Dub with a 36-year-old Kevin Durant and go, well, he's 36, but he's probably still better than J-Dub. And what he won't do, he won't fold in the playoffs. So it's easy to say it, but as long as you're losing, I bet they consider it.
And what's the one thing that we've seen kill teams, particularly a young team like OKC? Expectations, guys. That's the one thing that can kill a young team is expectations. And OKC is still young. So
can I take you back to when the Oklahoma City Thunder made this mistake before?
Go ahead.
They've made this mistake before. They made it to the finals versus the Miami Heat, and they thought that they needed to trade a young up-and-coming James Harden to go get Kevin Martin? Like what? I
never understood that.
They were trying to get a veteran two guard that would fit better with Durant and Westbrook, and they went and traded a young budding talent for a guy that was a little bit more proven, a little bit. Now, granted, I know KD is better than what Kevin Martin would have been, but the point being is, let these guys grow together, man. Let them grow together, extend them together. Let them continue to build their chemistry together. And if you don't win a finals this year, it's not time to panic. You still have one of the best GMs in all basketball.
Yes.
You still have a loaded roster. And you can make little moves. I think the Hartenstein move is great. I think the Caruso move is great. Being able to get guys that are gritty veteran guys that are going to get dirty, that are going to be leaders, that are going to play defense. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Don't remind me, Gene.
You can let them grow, but we'll see.
Don't remind me, Gene.
The way they lost in the playoffs last year, that was embarrassing.
It was.
It's one thing to lose and go, well, this is just growing experience. If they get embarrassed again, you can't. That's not a growing experience. There's something internally not there. SGA is a great player, but I don't know if anybody's ever said he was a leader.
We don't know that until he leads.
Yep. And some guys are not vocal leaders. Some do lead by example. So we'll have to see.
Yo, screw you, Control.
And Gene, don't remind me, bro. We ain't getting no first round pick for Caruso. Not that Giddey's playing bad, but we ain't getting no first round pick, dog.
Bro, I can't. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If Quentin Grimes keeps winning games, 76ers need to bench him immediately.
I said that.
Oh,
when he went big the other night, I was like, they didn't tell Grimes that the tank is in. Like, he didn't get the message.
They tell him nothing.
He didn't get the memo because him and Yabusele are still balling out. No one told those two guys that we're not really trying to win at this point.
And I don't understand what your 76ers, Gene. Okay, I get it. You would have set Embiid out, and you should have. But
they just shut down Maxey too. Maxey for a little bit.
Yeah, but now you got Paul George finally coming to play. Bruh, you should have been coming to play.
He's not coming to play, bro. You did not watch last night if you think he's coming to play.
He ain't coming to play at all.
Paul George was 1 for 6 from 3, 3 for 11 from the field with 7 points last night. I don't want to hear Paul George came to play. You know the players that outscored Paul George last night? Quentin Grimes, Kelly Oubre, Gershon Yabusele, Jared Butler. Yeah, Jared Butler, the same Jared Butler that played for Baylor in the tournament. That Jared Butler. Like, the 76ers had 4 guys that you would never put on a poster outscore Paul George last night. Get out of here. No.
That dude said, I'm putting a podcast aside so we can win a championship. Okay.
Go back. Go ahead and start podcasting again. You're good. You're good.
Podcast up, buddy.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you could go all in on your podcast. You're good. Ain't nothing happening this year.
I
said that.
I would be giving players away for first round draft picks like right now. I'd be like, listen, we're gonna play the lottery. Let's get 4 or 5 of those lottery picks. You ain't got. Listen, I will go all in right now. Give me the opportunity. Give me Cooper Flag, baby. I want Cooper Flag.
Yeah. Go get him.
By any means necessary.
Heck yeah. Go get him. I agree. But let me go over to another team in the Western Conference, and I feel so sorry for Dallas Maverick fans. Kyrie Irving is out for the year, and I just feel sorry for those guys. That had to be, you suffered through to what I think is still one of the worst trades in basketball, and now the superstar that you have is out for the year. Mo, I'll start with you to finish up the show. We have about 7 minutes left to go on the morning show here on Wire to Wire Sports. I'll take this to you, Mo.
I mean, it's worked out well for my team, so I'm. But look,
like that, Gee, you sorry you did.
Look, I think it's kind of like it's a domino effect, right? You help engineer the worst trade probably in NBA history. And there was a domino effect. AD comes out, and he's like, look, he's all NBA. This is what we got. And then AG abdominal tear. Then Kyrie's left by himself. Kyrie's trying to keep the team afloat. Maybe he's trying too hard, playing too many minutes. Whatever you want to call it. Now, ACL, he's gone. If you're Nico Harrison, I don't know where you live, but move out of town. Move out of town. I hope you're renting. It's like this couldn't have gone any worse overall. Like, you were trying to sell your fan base that Luka was lazy. He wasn't part of the culture, defense, and all that kind of stuff. You were just killing Luka. And this could not have gone any worse. What is going to be the sell to your fans this offseason? Well, when AD's healthy and Kyrie's healthy, like that's going to basically right now, don't bring Anthony Davis back. Why would you bring him back? Don't bring Anthony Davis back. Don't bring back Gafford. Don't bring back Lively. Their best bet now is to tank in their own right and build up their draft equity. This could not have gone any worse for them. I don't even know how he retains his job.
Tonight is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. June, appreciate you, man. Well, I'm listen. Any of the shows on Wire to Wire Network. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Facebook, whatever. But you'll see different characters and different people on these shows that will absolutely blow your mind with their sports knowledge. Mo being one of them. Will is an incredible host. He hosts 3 shows. So I appreciate you. I just want to kind of answer that question. But
and fellas, real quick, correct me if I'm wrong. I heard a rumor that the Mavericks actually raised ticket prices.
Hold on. I don't know about that.
I heard that. I gotta look that up real quick, but that's what I heard. And if that's true, that's a scummy move. That's a scummy move. Let me look this up.
Let me answer this real quick while you look it up. Since the trade, Kyrie was averaging the most minutes in the league.
There it is.
That's a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
Huge problem.
Let's start there. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, right? You have a 32-year-old player that turns 33 at the end of this month, Kyrie Irving. You have a 31-year-old center who's got an injury history. You went all in for this year, and it's failed miserably. You have only one move left. Nico, I'm going to need you to clean out that desk. I'm going to need you to move on. But you know what this is setting up? And I don't want to beat the Mavericks up too bad. Okay. But the Mavericks are going to fall apart. And the team that's going to take that last play-in spot is going to be the Phoenix Suns. And this is setting up for the worst old school play-in game you will ever watch in your life, with the Phoenix Suns playing against the Los Angeles Clippers. And you're going to get old man Kawhi versus old man Durant in a play-in game. And it's going to be funny. It'll be entertaining. But at the end of the day, the Luka trade is so bad. And I said, listen, I don't want to say that their starting lineup isn't better if they're all healthy, because I feel like Kyrie, Clay, AD, all healthy, like it's a better fit for a 1-year starting lineup. But every single thing the naysayers said about this trade in Dallas, every single fan that stood out in front of that stadium, that protested, that burned jerseys, that did anything they could do, they were right.
Yep.
They were right. Yep. You traded a generational talent who's balling out in LA for a 2 seed. Like, I don't know how LA does this. They keep doing it. They do it all the time. Like, the Kobe Bryant heist 30 years ago is still, I can't understand. Charlotte's like, no, we don't want Kobe. You can take him LA. The Shaquille O'Neal signing. Like, and I get LeBron James signing there. I get it. I understand it. They don't get many, but they get the big ones, right? They get the big free agents. They get the big superstars. It feels like LA has always had a superstar. And there was like 2 years where they didn't have a superstar when they went from Kobe to LeBron. It was like a 2-year gap. But if you go back the last 40 years, 50 years of basketball, they've had Magic, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, Luka. Like, it just continues. Yep. They're going to have Luka for the next 10 years. Then they'll find another superstar. Then Kareem. Like, go back 50 years, 60 years. Lakers always have a superstar.
Yep.
That's facts.
That's facts. That's facts. And real quick, the Mavericks did raise their ticket prices 8.6%, but it won't go into effect until next season. But still, that's a scummy move.
I promise you that they will lower those ticket prices. If Kyrie's out for the year, if AD's still hurt, if Klay Thompson doesn't want to play for them after the fact that Kyrie's still out and AD is hurt, like, they will lower those ticket prices, because you're not going to be able to give those ticket prices away.
No. At 8.6%. That's huge. All right. We're gonna go ahead and finish everything up. Let's get some final thoughts and Mo to close out the show. Gene, any final thoughts to close out?
Do me a favor. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Wire to Wire Network is moving. We're moving in the right direction. Go over to YouTube, give us a subscribe. We're trying to rebrand the YouTube page. We posted a ton of videos on it, and we just didn't get the traction we wanted. Just like we got with Facebook and the downloads that we have for Lipson through Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Do us a favor. Help us. Share us out. Tell a friend about us. We're moving in the right direction. Yesterday's morning show with my man Carmike got 2,500 views by noon. We're moving in the right direction. I appreciate all y'all. Wire to Wire Network, Wire to Wire Sports Network. Anywhere you listen to us, we'll be there. Appreciate you, Will. Appreciate you having me on this morning. Over to you, to Mo.
Mo, go ahead and close this out, my friend.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Make sure you check out all the great content we have at Wire to Wire Network. Wire to Wire Network, we appreciate you.
And that's going to do it for the morning show here this morning. Big thanks to Gene for coming on. Big thanks to my man Mo for coming on. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Wire to Wire Sports. We'll see you tomorrow.